I'm going to do this is the second part to the Empires is Nothing study, and now I'm going to I'm going to give you verses on the millennial reign of Christ, His final kingdom that will never be destroyed. By the way, it's going to be verses in Isaiah, Daniel, and Revelation. Daniel 2, verses 31 through 45. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broke into pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, speaking to Nebuchadnezzar, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, and you can't separate the king from the empire, so the head was Babylon, the golden head was Babylon. And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee. That's the silver, the breast and arms of silver. That's the MEDO-PERSIan Empire, which later conquered the Babylonian Empire. And another third kingdom of brass, which shall rule over all the earth. That is the Grecian Empire, or Greece, which conquered MEDO-Persia and rule over all the known world. And they didn't conquer all the earth, but it was basically the known world. And the fourth kingdom, this is Rome. This is a picture of the original of the physical Roman Empire that rose up and defeated the Greek Empire and was ruling during Christ's time. And it's also a picture of the final Gentile empire ruled by the Antichrist. It's also a picture of that. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things. And as iron that breaketh all things shall it break to pieces, make in pieces and bruise. Now whereas that's all the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes and the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in those days, in the days of these kings, shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. That was the rock that cut out of the mountain that smote the image without hands, that cut out without hands and smote the image, and divide and become a great mountain and cover the whole earth. This is the kingdom of Christ. This is the kingdom of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is the millennial reign. And that was a prophecy of the millennial reign. That's the God of heaven shall set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and his kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made it known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. How about that one? That's amazing. That is a prophecy of the empires of the Bible that would rise and fall, and then the prophecy of the kingdom of our Christ, of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the one and true God, living God, that would come and would be set up on the earth that would never be destroyed. It shows God's kingdom is going to destroy all the other kingdoms. He's going to destroy all the other Gentile kingdoms of the earth, and He's going to set His kingdom up, and it will never be destroyed. And it will take over the whole earth, and He will rule the whole earth. Daniel 7, verses 4 through 11. The first was like a lion. This is a vision that he had. This is a vision that Daniel had. And he sees 4 beasts. And he doesn't understand it, so he tries to figure it out. And I think he sees the vision, and he asks who's there and the vision what this means. He's right now describing the beast. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, the second, like to a bear, and it raised it up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. And after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. I believe these 3 are the same empires mentioned in Daniel 2. Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and this last one here, the 4th beast, is again the Roman Empire, original Roman Empire, the one that stood during Christ's time, and then the revived Roman Empire that would come later. That would be the final Gentile kingdom. This is the visions again. And after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces. It stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, 10-nation confederacy. Those horns represent nations. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. That's Babylon, Medo-Persia, and Greece. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. In the book of Revelation, it's speaking great blasphemies against God. That little horn is the Antichrist. That's a picture of him. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days, that's God, did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. That is a big picture of Revelation 20. There's a lot of imagery here, and a lot of it is imagery, and a lot of imagery, and a lot of visions. But it's a same picture of what happens in Revelation. It's such a parallel between Daniel and Revelation. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words, it's basically, I believe, it's blasphemies, like in the book of Revelation again, the beast speaks great blasphemies against God. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. That's what happens to the Antichrist in Revelation 19. He's thrown into the lake of fire for eternity. The books were opened here. This judgment here sounds like the great white throne judgment. But it says here, if it's the top, that's going to happen. But it sounds here also, because it's talking about his saints, it could be the judgment seat of Christ, because that's where we're going to be judged. But it doesn't mention anything about books there. But it talks about books in judgment, a judgment seat, and judgment was set, and the books are open. It's talking about that sounds more like the great white throne, because that's the only time it mentions anything about books being open. So it sounds like this is the great white throne judgment. Daniel 7:13 through 14. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, and all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. There's the millennial reign again. It will never be destroyed. It's an everlasting kingdom. God will be in control of everybody. God will rule everybody, and they will serve him. His kingdom will never be destroyed, and it will cover the entire earth. Daniel 7:17 to 18. These great beasts. This is him. This is an angel. I think it's an angel talking to Daniel now, telling him what they are. Giving him the explanation about all this. These great beasts, which are four kings, or kingdoms. He's saying they're kings, but you can't separate a king from a kingdom. It's basically a kingdom, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, and even forever and ever. I'll continue this later.